Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be building a little bit more for our Newcrest world. So if you guys don't know what we're doing, we've been building different houses on every lot in Newcrest, which is a blank world in The Sims 4. And I'm going to release a save file at the end of it so you guys can download it and have it all filled up with new families and lots. That's what we've been working on. That's our current quarantine project. So this is the next family I'm doing a build for. This is Billy Clark, and the storyline is Billy Clark is a doctor. I made him through the questionnaire, and he ended up with high starter funds, which was really exciting. So he's a doctor. The story is his sister was unable to take care of his little niece, Winnie, so he's taken Winnie in with him and his corgi, Connie, and they live in a little house. So he is actually Winnie's uncle. His house needed to be a tiny home because he wants to save money to put funds aside for when Winnie grows up to give her the best launch into adulthood as possible. So they're going to live in a little tiny small home. So Billy is a bit of a jokester. He's the funny doctor. He's non-committal. He's not really interested in a relationship at all. He's a goofball, and he also loves the outdoors and taking Connie and Winnie out for a walk. Okay, so jumping into the speed build, as I said, we're doing a tiny small home. So we're restricted, I think, to 90 or 100 tiles, something like that. And from using these restrictions, you actually get perks in your build. Also, I know if I'm a little bit low on energy, some of you guys are really good at noticing that, and you often worry if I'm upset or anything. It's just time of the month, so I'm a little bit sleepy today, but I'm okay. So if you're wondering why this is a little less energetic, that's the reason. But anyway, this house is definitely going to be modern. I wanted to have a mezzanine level because some of you guys were suggesting a mezzanine would be a great idea. So the bedroom's going to be up on that level. Then there's a bedroom for Winnie. So 2 bedrooms or 1 bedroom with like a study mezzanine level and 1 bathroom. And I think for the size of this house, we actually did a really nice job of keeping it very it seems spacious enough. It definitely works really, really well with the 3 of them, the uncle and Winnie and the dog, and gameplay is really smooth in the house. I actually started playing them a little bit as a family, and I was like, I love this house. It's perfect for them. So I'm really pleased with that. And because I didn't want it to look just like every other tiny house I've built, I decided to put in some more skylights. We're using the new Nifty Knitting Stuff pack. I think Tiny Living as well. Obviously, we're going to use Tiny Living in a tiny home. And Tiny Living is probably my favorite stuff pack. I think they did a really great job with that. And, you know, Nifty Knitting, I really had a lot of fun with all the pieces in this. And because our Dr. Clark is such a flamboyant and bright guy, he's the doctor who's funny, who wants to wear light, bright colors and pastels to cheer people up. A lot of the items in this home are going to be very bright and very friendly. So we're going to have a lot of hanging plants. And yeah, this is basically the exterior we've jumped to. And we're using eco living as well, because eco lifestyle. I always forget which one's which. But I thought these windows were really nice, and these doors. And soon we're going to build up to the 2nd level, put the skylights in. I think it's just the 3 packs that we're actually using today. Tiny Living, Nifty Knitting, and Eco Lifestyle. I think that's all we end up using. And at the end, I did, for our little doggy, I did put in My First Pet Stuff, very controversial, My First Pet Stuff pet mat. But that's only because everyone wanted us to have a dog at the end when I was building this on a live stream. So that was the little addition. But obviously, if you don't have a pet, you're not going to have the pet bowls and the pet mat at the end. So it'll be fine to move into without having cats and dogs on My First Pet Stuff. So up here is the mezzanine level, just building this up and figuring out what kind of roof we want to put on here. I thought it was important for the exterior of the house to be more than a monochromatic color or a neutral color. It needed to be something friendly. So we have a nice sea blue color. And I love these little lots in Newcrest. They're so perfect for a starter home. And of course, we wanted to use the ladder. That's why we also used Eco lifestyle because ladders are just so cool that go up to a mezzanine level. So it definitely would be appropriate to have this as a starter home for a career-driven sim or a couple of sims where they can have their little office upstairs and share the downstairs bedroom. Or even, you could even do something like having young adults who share the bedroom downstairs and with, you know, not as a couple even, and still have that study nook upstairs as well, and a little bit of space around the house to expand it as they level up. So right now you can see on the left, we're on tier 3, which is a small home. So we've used 90 out of 100 tiles. And this is when we started experimenting with having a glass roof. The glass roof it just wasn't quite right. It didn't look realistic enough to me. So now we're gonna make some skylights. And I always find it confusing making skylights. I've done it like many times, but even still, I get a little bit muddled up with how to make them. Not doing it in this way right now, but what we're doing here on the lower part, you'll see I get a little bit confused with how it works. And luckily, some of you guys in chat reminded me, oh, you've got to like pull the glass down, then extend the rest of the roof along the top. No, along the bottom, actually. So this is me getting confused right here. Being like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know. Sometimes my brain gets confused with things. You know, I am all but human. And actually, speaking of human, I'm about to play Among Us for the first time. That game that everyone seems to be playing, I'm about to play it with a couple of friends. Dr. Gluon, Miller, Grim Cookies, James, and I think a few others as well. So wish me luck in that, because I feel like the first game I play, I'm gonna be an imposter, because you're either a good guy or a bad guy. And usually when I play these games where one of you is the killer, I always get it on my first game when I'm still learning how to play, and it makes it so much more difficult. And then over here, I really wanted to use the Get Famous glass, but of course we're restricting our packs in each of these builds to make them a little bit more easier to download. And I know ideally a lot of you guys would have just liked all the houses to be base game for this save. But the thing is, I just thought if we were going to be doing, 15 builds, I can't remember how many lots are in this world, it would get a little bit, for video making and for streams, I thought it would be a little bit repetitive what we were building if we were restricted to base game. So that's why for each build we're using some different packs that kind of suit the house. And then it means that you can just kind of you'll only have to alter a few houses if you download the world, hopefully. And there will be some base game only builds in the world as well. So that'll be good. Love that little skylight. And I also added a balcony too. This is a very little balcony area, but it can definitely be extended when you have a little bit of extra money. And of course, because it is a starter home, I forgot to say, we could only use 18,000 simoleons. So we do have all the build cheats on that allows us to grab a few free things out of the catalog. Move objects cheat on is used obviously, so we can place things off the grid. And yeah, it's just full of bright colors, which is nice. And I often feel like when you have a single guy sim, you often go for the really classic masculine look, so lots of darker colors, and it's kind of refreshing to do a build where all of these pastels and bright colors are for a single guy sim. I think that's kind of fun and refreshing. So that's nice too. And Nifty Knitting, I actually haven't had much of a chance to play Nifty Knitting properly. And I feel like I need to sit down and just do a whole heap of knitting just so I can enjoy the pack, because I never actually got to review it fully with lots of gameplay and experimenting with Plopsy and all of that. But I think since I built this house, I'm like, oh, I really want to make all of these items myself instead of just cheating and grabbing them out of the catalog. And then this bathroom here, I was struggling with what wallpaper to use, whether we use like this. I mean, I like this base game one that came in a free update, but we actually change it to a more vibrant color. We're going to use the blue one with like the orange patterned accents on it because again, I felt like, although it was a nice bathroom, it's probably a bathroom I've done before. So we brightened it up a bit in a little while to this blue version, which I think is nice. Also, when I show you guys the house at the end, I'm showing you the house after I've done a little bit of gameplay in it. So I did, because my sim living there and the sim who's moved in has extra starter funds from doing the My Sim story, I decided to add in like a few extra things that are still within the pack restrictions. So I added in a TV and moved the fireplace aside. So yeah, I did change that, but I uploaded it to the gallery before I added those extra things. So when I do the save file, I don't know, maybe I should revert back to the actual starter home, 18,000 simoleons, because it's probably worth closer to 20 now, which is still a starter home, but it's not a single sim starter home technically. But we just got lucky how he was given more starter funds. We didn't actually cheat that in at all. So that is a legit starter home that he is able to afford, which is pretty good. And this is the kitchen, obviously with counters. I used the cheapest counters available, the classic base game ones. And I feel like this black version with the cream tops is probably the nicest, or the light blue with the light wood on the side of it. I think that one's quite nice too. And these items here, these tables and chairs that I'm figuring out which colors to use, those pieces, I think it's either the table or the chairs are only 10 simoleons, and you usually find them through dumpster diving in eco lifestyle, eco living. Is it eco living or eco lifestyle?
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle. I always get so confused. So those were really cheap. That's a really good option for a starter home. I love that. And a lot of the knitting stuff actually costs a little bit of money, but it's usually on the cheaper side, which is good. So I've already got the rugs out for us to enjoy. The fireplace is kind of, I feel like in every starter home, you can have one more luxury item and still come within your budget if you're only doing like a couple of bedrooms. So we splurged on the fireplace, but we could have definitely instead got a TV or a skill building item, but I just love that fireplace so much, so we had to use that. And yeah, just figuring out, you know, where are the windows gonna go? The other great thing about using build sheets is that you can get like trees and things for free from debug mode, or maybe it's the unlock live build mode, whatever that cheat is. That's also a really other handy way to get some things. I think that was James's Discord, so I'm just gonna mute that. Don't worry, you guys don't need to check your Discord. That was from the video. You know when you watch videos and you hear like someone's phone who filmed the video going off, or you hear their Discord, or you know, any of those sounds, and then you check your phone thinking it's you. It's so funny. And then I was looking at these benches. I thought these were, I don't know how I feel about these benches. My problem is I feel like they look like cardboard. I really like the couch design. Well, they're not benches, they're couches, but they kind of look like benches. They don't look like proper fabric couches to me sometimes. So I much prefer these other ones and thought they were cute too. And then actually the dad sim was based off someone that I know who wears like the most beautiful pastel preppy clothes. He's an older gentleman. He's actually my mom's partner's brother, and he's so awesome and such a lovely person. And I love that he wears all of these bright colors. It's so refreshing. So this sim was a little bit inspired by him, and he's also really, really smart. These are just pieces out of debug mode. So these are like little pebbles, which are nice to put at the front of the house. The letterbox is from Nifty Knitting. Baby the sim, he likes to knit sometimes and make some crochet things. And then this roof was looking a little too peaked, so we're just adjusting that. And I feel like the angles of all the roofs on one house I tend to like all of those angles to look even, because I feel like when you have different angles, unless they're kind of balanced, they look a little weird, like it's a mistake. So that's why you'll often see me in videos just adjusting those angles. And yeah, just putting in the classic and iconic rocking chair, which is so exciting. And also, toddlers gain so much fun really quickly when they play on those rocking chairs. It's a really good item for gaining fun quickly for toddlers. And some ottomans here. We've got some more nifty knitting items. Love that. I also mucked up a little bit and put an item in that was from another pack, but don't worry, it got removed. So that's all good. And those archways, or the archway on the left to the toddler's room, I don't know why, but I thought it would be kind of nice to have just an open arch going into a toddler's room. I don't know, maybe because you can still hear if the toddler's needing anything, or just for safety, I guess. You don't have to shut the door. And especially if the parent's sleeping upstairs on a mezzanine level, I feel like it's kind of important to be able to keep an eye on them. And as they get older, they can, you can put a door in so they have that privacy that they need. So that's good as well. And then just going through this whole catalog, you can see all of the items that you would usually just see in the world around you. You can actually use these items with certain build sheets. So that's really handy. And a lot of them cost 0 simoleons, which we love. So we're putting some vines up here as well. There's some great hanging plants we used in our last build, which was, what was that? The terrace houses that have been converted into a cafe, and also a library, which I think you guys liked that build. So that's good. And there's just so many good things in there. So now when I build stuff, I find myself using these items more and more, especially for a starter home, just because it's amazing how quickly landscaping adds to your money. And I love the palm tree too. It's kind of random, but I like it. Here in where I live, we have a lot of mixed flora and landscaping. We have a lot of introduced plants, and people kind of, I guess it's also to do with your weather and your garden and your soil, what you can grow, but we seem to be able to grow a lot of different things here. So you'll see one house on a street with a big palm tree, and someone else has a cactus, and then someone else has pine trees. Like, it's very much mixed here. So to me, having a palm tree in Newcrest, looks pretty normal. That's not a problem. I love this shelf as well. This, Eco Lifestyle has a lot of really cheap objects too, which is handy. Lots of cheap objects, so I love that. And putting some candles up as well definitely makes the room look really warm and pretty. So I had to do that too. And it was nice because I got to use the really bright flooring, which y'all know me. I love light flooring. Usually my favorite flooring is like a mid light brown, so maybe the brown color or the wood color on the shelf or the rocking chair. But for this, I decided to go really light, which I haven't done for a while, and I was excited because I try and change it. I try and do a mix, and it was exciting to do this lighter flooring. And then side table, also from Eco Lifestyle. And we're basically just down to the decor in this room. It's just a matter of brightening it up. I love those bricks. Those bricks on the left are actually from base game. A lot of you guys asked me what pack they're from. They're just base game. And I don't know if they came with an update. They must have, because there was just a time when I realized that they were in my game and I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. So love those in the white particularly, but it was nice to use this kind of brown neutral color too. Also, in the base game, these neon lights are really fun to use as well as wall decor. So I thought that having that cocktail glass with the parrot was a little bit of fun, brought it to light a bit. Then in here, this is going to be the toddler room, which is cool. Nice bright yellow rug. We're going to be putting in the beautiful toddler bed from Eco Lifestyle, which I love. I think in real life, not this toddler bed. No. The next one we get is going to be the good one. And if I had a kid, I would love to have this bed in real life for them because it's just so beautiful. Whoever designed the asset of the toddler bed in Eco Lifestyle did such a good job. This one, it's so cute. How cute is that? With the little cushion on it and the little throw on the side. So pretty in the canopy. There's a lot of really, really nice designs in Eco. I'm just gonna start calling it Eco because I always get confused by the name. Shelf from Eco as well, toy box there because I accidentally used a toy box from another pack. Oopsie doopsie. Nice chair, and then of course we need a couple of toddler things. So we've got the potty in there. I've added a high chair to the game when we go tour it in a moment. So that's gonna look good. And yeah, just a few toddler items as well. I happen to really love using base game outdoor tables as side tables because they just have more of a beachy look to them, I think. And I think because they're so low, a lot of the end tables are like really high and bulky to put next to a bed that's as lovely as that toddler one that's a little smaller. So using those little tables often look nice as a side table as well. And I didn't put blinds or curtains up for all the rooms, but for the toddler room I did because I just felt like it was cute. These curtains bring more color into it and make it look a little bit more happy. But to be honest, we didn't have enough money or budget to put curtains in all of the other rooms. So yes, you can probably look in the window while your sim is peeing and having a bath. Definitely. And I also love these little peepee shelves. Peep shelves, maybe peeps. It has a few connotations that we don't really want. Hidey hole shelves. Love those. Super cute. I used to have a whole heap of them when I was little. It was just like one big grid box shelf with all of these little hidey holes where I used to put little figurines and things. I used to love like placing my items in a special way on their little shelves and making it look pretty. That's some fond memories from my childhood. Sounds like I had a really sad childhood if that was my highlight, but it really did bring me a lot of happiness rearranging things. And I used to have a bunk bed. I'm sorry, I know that will upset a lot of you guys speaking about bunk beds whilst we're building in The Sims because we don't have bunk beds yet. But I used to have a bunk bed and sleep on the bottom, always shotgun bottom bed. And the slats above me that hold up the upper mattress, I would like hide things in them under the mattress. So like a special note or something, I'd hide it in there and squish it under the mattress, and I'd like draw and write things on all of the mattress slats too. It would be cool to have like a massive wall that you could just draw on. My sister did that once actually when she was a lot younger, when she was a teenager. She and her friends basically painted the most amazing mural on her ensuite wall. It was crazy. All right, so jumping into game, this is our build. What do you guys think? Is it cute? Do you like it? I think it turned out nice. I mean, look, here's the thing. With starter homes, they're usually gonna look a little bit more plain because there's not as much that you can do with them. But I think with the addition of some skylights and a little balcony and a foundation, it does help to make it look a little bit more unique and stand out from the crowd. So let's go inside. This is, oh yeah, because it's a tiny home, I couldn't put flooring under the roof either because it takes up floor tiles. So let's just ignore that. But anyway, I've made a couple of changes. So obviously this sim now has a TV in here, and I also put this rug in for our doggy. But you know, the main stuff is all the same. We have the same kitchen, window, little eating area with a hanging pot above it. Through here we have the curtained toddler room. So that's really cute. Very simple, but still, I think really nice. And I added a high chair as well to the dining area. Then if we go over here, this is where the bathroom is. And I think, yeah, our little Winnie just had a bath and he's saying, oh my gosh, I made such a mess. By the way, don't you love that he has bright socks with all of his outfits? Got a little shelf there from Tiny Living too. And then if we just go up to the mezzanine level, this is the master bedroom. It's got a beautiful view out the window, a little desk for any medical stuff he needs to work on. And then there's this cluster of lights and plant pots, which is really exciting too. A little wardrobe there. And of course, there's nothing out here, but this would be a great spot for an easel or a spot to knit. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what kind of build you'd like to see next. And as always, I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'll speak to you soon. Tag tag!